Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from Down Under today. We're playing along in Series 15 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Day of Sketches, and today's day number 2. This is by Shannon Keith from Creative Chaos in Tennessee. An amazing sketch, and this is how I've interpreted it with my layout for my daughter's wedding. So I have utilised vellum for this one. I'm going to have this chipboard title with this photo, as I said, of my daughter on her wedding day. This is myself and my husband with my daughter. She didn't have a traditional wedding. She dressed in black. It was beautiful. We were out at a nature reserve and it was just perfect. I've got these vellum sheets. I have a white, a script one, and a blue. The script was from Scrapbook Fantasies. Very, very good, and adding a little bit of texture to the page. I'm going to use this Kaisercraft one here. This is a Kaisercraft paper, and I'm going to actually use the B side for my base. I've got some navy cardstock there to back in my large hexagon, and because of Shannon's design, I'm going with big florals on my page. I'm using this side of this uniquely creative sheet to cut out the little flowers, but the dot side is what I'm going to use for my hexagon. So to start with, I'm using my vellum, and the vellum is a tricky adhering to a page, so I use double-sided tape to do that, and I've got this wide double-sided tape which I have put onto the back of the vellum, and I'm cutting out my hexagons, and this allows me, when you use this, to adhere the vellum without seeing the adhesive through the vellum. So it actually looks like the vellum's just stuck, and it's just the way it is. So as you can see, I've done that piece there to show you that through the blue you can't see where the vellum is attached. So I went ahead and I punched out all of my vellum on the white vellum first, because that is what I'm using for the left-hand side of the page, bleeding into the script vellum and then down into the blue vellum. Now, because it is vellum and it is showing the colour through, it's a little difficult to see it at this stage, but as the layout progresses, you will see those vellum hexagon in there. Shannon sketch at first threw me. I wasn't sure how I was going to achieve the hexagon effect that she had. It reminded me of a great layout for a digital scrapbook page, but then I thought of the vellum, and that's how I've gone ahead to create it. And as you can see, it's just giving that effect that she has on her layout, on her design, and it's creating a true bleed of the hexagons across the page without overpowering it. So I'm really impressed with how this has come out, and I thought it was a good idea. The trickiest part is, once it is on this double-sided tape, is peeling it apart. It can be tricky at times because it does stick, but it is the best way of adhering vellum to a page I've found. So I'm just layering up these hexagons as per Shannon's design. So they overlap where Shannon overlaps. I've got them in place. Like I said, when I scrap to a sketch, I know you can interpret the elements and I know you can make it yours. I know that everybody does, and I do to an extent, but I also like to pay tribute to the original, because the person has created it, and I pay homage to it as closely as I can. I'm getting better. I used to always get distressed if it wasn't exactly the same, but now I'm working within the constraints. So the next thing I've done is I'm using the negative of my punch out hexagons to create my outline of the hexagon on the layout as per Shannon has done on her sketch. Now, this is quite an easy thing to do when you use your punches and you use the negative, and it's creating a stencil without actually having a stencil. But as you can see, it's giving the same coordination and layout that Shannon has achieved on hers, and I've tried to stay true to her layout. Now, when I first cut out this hexagon, I cut it out too small, so I then had to get creative with it. So I've layered it up multiple times, but I actually like how that has turned out. I have the dot paper to start with, then I put in the navy blue cardstock, and then I got a pale lilac pearled paper, and then I finished off with more of the dot paper. So as you can see, I've done that to lift my hexagon and make it large enough. Now I'm just going to add in the splatters that Shannon has around hers. I'm using watercolour paints, and I spritzed in the water to really make it nice and wet. That's important when you're using watercolours. And I'm just splattering around the hexagon like Shannon has, and going over it doesn't matter because that's also in the layout design. And that's giving me my mixed media background. Using my chipboard, I'm going to use some Dilution sprays, Kaisercraft denim spray, and I'm just using the painted wood distress oxide there to give it a lighter thing. So I build up my title with multiple colours. So there's my photo. I have a 5x7 for this layout, and that's fine with these larger prints that I have fussy cut from the papers. And that's building that floral cluster that Shannon had at the bottom of her layout there. And I've added in more butterflies, but I like the butterflies instead of the bee, and that's adding to this layout. I went off screen and I glued it all down, and now I'm back putting in this heading, which you can see complements the page nicely and folds in beautifully. Now Shannon has got some journaling there. This is in the wedding album, so I don't need to journal it. I've just chosen that part off the branding strip that says always choose happy. And I'm adding in punched out circles from the hexagon paper where Shannon had her clusters of 3 in her design, and I like how these have turned out. I'm popping them up on some foam tape, and that's adding to the layout. And I was a little unsure where I was going to put the third cluster of 3 because my flowers are a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I ended up going with them in that cluster, and you can see that it's now set up a visual triangle around the page, with that photo still being front and center and being very important. I'm using some Cosmic Shimmers here just to add some bling to the middle of those flowers and along the body of the butterflies, and that just adds a little bit of sparkle to the layout. I was looking at it and I still felt it was a little bit flat, so I'm now adding in some of Spiegel Mum's mix here, sequins mix. I forgot that word again. Sequins mixes. And I absolutely love these sequins mixes. If you've never purchased anything from her, you so need to go and get these sparkle mixes. They are just brilliant. I have got 3 sets. I know I'm going back this week to get some more because they are so amazing. And the colours are just so vibrant and beautiful, and the quality of the sequins is just amazing. Sorry, I'm raving about it, but I really, really like them. So I will put the link in down below for that as well, so that you can go and have a look yourself. It's great to support our fellow scrappers, and they're just such beautiful quality. And I'm just adding in clusters of 3 more now. It's because I just want a little bit more sparkle on the page, because it is a special page. It's a wedding photo album that I'm putting together, and this one's a special photo of my daughter with my husband and I, and probably about one of the only photos I like of myself from the day. So this is how it came together. I have got the hexagons there, as you can see, in the vellum, plus I've gone over with the negative and stencil, and I've bled into the text hexagons into the blue hexagons down the side. And so I love how this has come together. The layers, the richness of it, the splatters of the paint, all of it add to make it a special layout. And I am quite impressed. I can honestly say I was very tricked at the beginning, but how it's turned out in the end is very nice. There's the original by Shannon, as you can see. I'll have all Shannon's details down below, so you can go and check her out and leave some love. This here is my final layout, and some close-ups for you to have a look at. If there's anything that you like, please feel free to lift and copy. Everything I do is available for anyone to copy. That's what it's all about, and I really do hope that something here inspires you to get scrapping and moving on and trying this sketch of Shannon's, because it really is a great sketch and it leaves itself open to lots of interpretations. Remember, I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. I'm coming to you from down under. If you liked anything today, give me a like. It lets YouTube know that you want to see more of what I've done. Thanks to all my subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed, please think about it. It keeps me to the front of YouTube and building my channel. I will get back to any comment you leave me. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram, Kathy Loves to Scrap, where all my layouts end up, even those without a video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. Happy scrapping. Until next time.